Hey, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. We're just going to jump right into this. On the screen, you have on the left side, this is the lieutenant for the Phoenix Police Department. On the right side, you've got the son of the lieutenant who got drunk, got behind the wheel of his Ford F-250 diesel truck, drove down the road, killed a wife and mother, left the scene, left her for dead, tried to pin the murder on his girlfriend or one of his girlfriends. I don't know if they're in a committed relationship or not, but tried to pin the death of this woman on another person. And then the cop, the Phoenix lieutenant, tries to lie to cover for his son. And that's the long and the short of it. So in the United States, you can be put in prison for 10 years for possession of a controlled substance. But if you're the son of a lieutenant, you only get 4 years with some probation for actually killing a woman in America or killing anybody in America with your vehicle. Vehicular manslaughter. Let's take a look at this. We're going to go through this. This comes from the EWU YouTube channel, but I definitely wanted to make some comments about this because I saw that in the comment section, they were deficient on what should really be discussed. And that's the fact that not only did this cop's son kill this woman in a drunk driving incident, it looks like he meant to kill her and then he meant to pin the murder on somebody else. And if it wasn't for video camera evidence, he would have gotten away with it. Let's take a look at this.
She was just taking a jog and somebody just drove off the side of the road and purposely hit her.
Poor kid. I don't think she felt it.
Looks like she had a kid too.
Oh my God! Oh. Where's the son of a...
When a woman out for a jog is struck and killed in broad daylight, Arizona deputies scramble to find the truck that fled the scene. But their desperate search for the perpetrator takes a shocking turn when they receive a phone call no one saw coming.
I'm not asking for favoritism.
And we need to take a look also while we're going through this at the demeanor and how the cops who are responding to the scene of this accident treat the cop's son and the cop himself, because they do roll out the thin blue line carpet of qualified immunity. It's always there. They always treat them different than they would treat you or I if we did the same thing.
But everyone's going to know anyways. I'm Lieutenant of Phoenix PD. It's my son. That's the guy who did it. That's the guy who did it.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. On the morning of February 24th, 2024, dispatchers receive an urgent 911 call.
I just witnessed a hit and run, and this lady needs an ambulance immediately. His vehicle just drove off. It was Ford F-250, Ford Super Duty. The woman was just running along the side of the road, and the guy just drove and hit her for no reason at all.
Okay, so she was walking?
Okay, thank you. She was just taking a jog, and somebody just drove off the side of the road and purposely hit her.
Okay.
I witnessed it in my rearview mirror. I don't know if this truck is coming back. I think he's coming back. I think the guy's coming back. He drove west, and he came back to the scene, but
Okay, he
he's
did
still in
come
his
back?
truck, and he looks like he's going to drive away, but I don't know what he's doing.
Is she conscious?
I don't think so. I think she's breathing. That's the guy who did it. That's the guy who did it.
A Maricopa County deputy arrives as the caller points to the suspect's vehicle, but it once again turns and flees the scene. With the deputy unable to leave the victim's side, a civilian volunteers to follow the suspect, but quickly loses sight of them. Though the deputy attempts to help the victim, the woman shows no sign of life. At 10:02 a.m., she's pronounced deceased.
This cop's son hit this woman so hard that her shoe flew like 70 feet away from her body.
As backup arrives, they work to locate some form of identification, but find only her cell phone.
Poor kid. I don't think she felt it.
Looks like she had a kid too.
Scattered along the roadway are her white earbuds, glasses, and pieces of a headlight. Her shoes were thrown from her feet, with one lying more than 70 feet from the other, a brutal indication of how violently she was struck.
Hey,
Guys, think about that. 70 feet. Her tied shoe came off of her foot and flew 70 feet from where her body landed. That's how fast this guy hit her.
so you know, and let Sergeant know, there's a possible next of kin over by his grant. He said that the wife and mom were out running, and they can't get a hold of her. So
The man provides the phone number for his wife, 43-year-old Lisa Mancuso. A deputy calls it, and in a tragic confirmation, the victim's phone rings. It isn't long before another family member arrives at the scene.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, what's going on, officer? My son just called me. He's crying and everything. He lives right here.
He lives on the other side.
He lives right over there.
You're gonna have to go down to Galvin up Central to get there.
Is somebody hit by a car or something?
They will be able to fill you in.
The man is Lisa's father-in-law. He rushes to her home where deputies are speaking with Lisa's husband and young son. Their emotions spill over as they learn the cause of her death.
Oh my God! Oh, where's the son of a? Looking for hit and run. Terrible.
I really hope none of us ever has to go through this, because I don't know what I would do if my wife was struck by a drunk driver. And I definitely, I mean, I just hope none of us ever goes through this.
You know what?
No words
We
for
were
it.
complaining about a stop sign here. You know, this is ridiculous. They go 8 miles an hour down this road. I know you guys are spread thin. I realize that.
You have every reason to be upset. So, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I know.
That's her little kid right here. This is her son. That's the son of the woman who was struck, hit, and killed on the roadway by a Phoenix Police Department lieutenant's drunk son.
No, just what would pass the house.
Lisa's husband Stephen attempts to pull up their security footage while friends and family try to comfort the young boy who has just lost his mother.
You're gonna be all right, buddy. It's all right.
God, this is horrible.
How's your chest, dude? It's better, but dude, I'm just in utter shock right now. Like, I can't even think of it.
Overcome with emotion, Stephen takes his son inside the home for a break while his father stays outside with deputies.
How bad is Lisa looking? Bad?
I mean, no, I wouldn't recommend seeing her right now. How's that? That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, this is gonna be devastating for him and his son.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Lisa there?
Yeah, sir. I'm sorry to say this, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, her poor son.
Back at the scene, deputies gather statements from witnesses.
I noticed this woman in black, workout clothes, if you will, jogging.
Okay.
She wasn't anywhere near to begin with. My own personal opinion,
Right.
not seeing the details,
Right.
as far off as she was,
Right.
and shame on me for saying this, there had to have been intent.
The 911 caller who saw the tragedy unfold in his rearview mirror also told dispatchers the incident looked very intentional, but deputies aren't quite certain that's the case.
Wow. So originally he said it looked intentional.
Okay.
But then when I asked him about...
I don't know why he would intentionally kill her unless he knew her and he had it out for her. But even then, self-preservation would dictate, I'm not going to do this because I could go to jail for a long time. So I'm thinking that in his drunken state, he maybe dozed off because he had to go quite a ways off the road to hit the female jogger.
vehicle like abruptly turn into it? And he said no, it was just a gradual, kind of went over like 692 or just distracted or something. But you leave, maybe big truck.
Yeah.
Call it play dumb.
Yep.
You came back.
It came back. If you thought
Saw what
I just
happened.
hit a box in the road.
Yeah.
According to witnesses, the truck ultimately made 2 U-turns near the crash site before fleeing the scene for a final time. While the cameras at Lisa's house weren't working, investigators obtained a clear view of the truck just before impact from a nearby residence. The 911 caller's SUV passes the home, followed moments later by the suspect's truck after rolling through a stop sign. The collision itself happens off camera, but the sound of the impact is fully captured.
Crazy,
Despite
man.
clear footage of the truck and several witnesses,
It's just crazy that thud equals the ending of a human life. Listen to it again.
Despite clear footage of the truck and several witnesses, investigators are only able to get a partial license plate. Once images of the vehicle begin circulating on social media, deputies receive a shocking phone call they never expected.
Sheriff's Office, how may I help you?
Hi, my name is Ben Moore, and I need to have a deputy dispatched out to me. The person that drove my son's truck last night, drove him home, hit a gal on Cloud Road.
There you go. They're already trying to frame somebody else. That's the father who's the Phoenix Police Department lieutenant of the son who actually hit and killed this woman. And they're already concocting a scheme to blame one of his son's girlfriends for the murder. That's how disgusting these people are.
And 7th Central, and I just found out about it, so I was calling to see if they could come to my house.
Is your son there?
He's here. Yeah, he's here with me. And just so you know, I'm a lieutenant with Phoenix. I'm not asking for favoritism, but everyone's going to know anyways. I'm a lieutenant with Phoenix PD. It's my son.
Lieutenant Moore's message is relayed to a Maricopa deputy who reaches out to him urgently for more details.
Yes, I started getting phone calls. It's the only reason I even knew. So I went outside, I looked, there was damage on the front of the vehicle. And so I went inside and asked my son. His buddy called me immediately because he had seen the pictures online.
Right.
And said he was at breakfast. That kid's on the way here right now.
Okay.
The one that was at breakfast with him this morning.
Yes, sir.
That friend says that the girl he was on a date with was driving the truck.
Where is the vehicle currently located?
It's where he normally parks it, on the side of my house.
Okay.
It's on the side of the house.
Was he in the vehicle when the crash happened?
He doesn't know. He was passed out.
Okay, I
So,
understand. Does he know who was in the vehicle?
yes, he does.
The deputy obtains his address and lets him know he needs to come speak with him in person.
And like I said, there's nobody delayed reporting. I didn't know anything about it.
No, I don't
I
even.
started getting phone calls, and he was passed out in his bed
Yeah.
for as long as I can remember. So I don't know
Thank
the
you.
times, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying. So nobody was sitting here trying not to call you or anything.
No, I am very grateful for you putting the pieces together, sir. Thank you, and thanks for your son for coming forward.
It's the right thing to do.
Yes, sir.
So just so they know he has an attorney, and that's only for protection.
Right.
It's the right thing to do as they're in the process of concocting a scheme to frame a girl who's innocent.
This whole thing's weird.
Yes.
So he's going to cooperate. I'm just waiting for the attorney to call me back. So this isn't because he's not going to talk. He's not going to cooperate.
No, you
He's
know
fully gonna
exactly. We just
cooperate.
have to make sure that,
I know.
that his rights are
100%.
preserved. So, totally
100%.
understandable.
That's all it is, and I think you'd call for your son too. So I just,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean.
When he arrives, Lieutenant Moore greets him in the driveway, along with his son, 20-year-old Jacob Moore.
So we're going to do the initial, just get here, and then we're
Yes.
just going to kind of lock down until the detectives are done over there.
Oh, yeah.
and
I
then-
ran our
then they'll
fatality
come
squad
over.
at Phoenix.
20-year-old Jacob Moore. Just take a look at this guy. He's only going to get 4 frickin' years for destroying a family's life and killing a woman. As the guy on the left, the Phoenix lieutenant, is lying to cover for his son.
For 4 years. So I've been a lieutenant for Phoenix for a long time. And this is one of the
A
witnesses.
lieutenant means he's in control of a whole bunch of people. All crap flows downstream, but there's only a few bad apples. The son is lying. The dad is lying. It's just a family of corruption.
This is at the restaurant.
Hi.
Jackson. And they went to pick up another witness that was at the restaurant to bring him here.
Just breathe, dude. If it wasn't you, don't worry about it. That's the big thing. Dad'll tell you. If it wasn't you, I get other things are going to happen, but
He's he's a young kid. He's never dealt with
I
this
know.
before. So
I know.
he's just sad at how it's going to affect me. So I told him I love you, and I would be here regardless of that.
While waiting for detectives to finish surveying the crime scene,
There, I don't. I'm just so speechless. There is a family whose mom is dead, the wife is dead, and he's just worried about how it's going to affect you, how it's going to affect your lieutenant dad after you just killed somebody.
Lieutenant Moore
Heartless,
leads the
man.
deputy to the truck.
So it's up here, the damage. You can see, I didn't touch it, so you can see the body fluid. I'm sure that's what that is. So,
Yeah.
but this,
Jim says at least he won't be a future cop. I really doubt that. There are a lot of people who are hired on police departments that have really, really bad backgrounds.
I thought it was weird because I left the world's back gate, and I came over here and went through the garage to get something. I'm like, why is this truck over here? It's never parked over here. And it's weird. So strange, but so.
Well, unfortunately, crud happens, but
The deputy quickly snaps photos of the truck and the damage to the front left headlight. As another deputy arrives on scene, they learn the female Jacob claims was driving his truck is named Jenica.
Do you know, has anyone got a hold of Jenica yet?
He tried to call her because I was freaking out. Mind you, and I know your camera's on. Hi, hello. I wear one at work too. So I go, I need her name, and he's like, he was kind of a daze. So I woke him up. He was passed out, and it took him a little bit to know what was going on. He was just tired, and so I woke him up, and he tried to call her, and she didn't answer the phone. And so it's some girl he met that he went on a date with. So I've never even met this girl. I don't know who she is.
You think started this morning, or
What's
was
that?
The date, was it this morning?
I have no clue, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Though Jacob isn't willing to speak to investigators without his lawyer present, his friend Jackson, who was with him this morning, agrees to answer questions. According to him, it wasn't a date, but rather a get-together involving multiple friends. After a long night out, the entire group went to a cafe called Heart and Soul.
We were there, ate breakfast, had some drinks.
Okay.
And
When you say drinks,
I was drinking. I don't know what they were doing. They were at their own table. They were drinking too.
Okay.
Drinking
drinking what? Orange juice, water?
Screwdrivers.
Okay.
So vodka orange juice. But
Kyle, another friend who was with them this morning at the cafe, also arrives and agrees to answer questions.
Where'd this morning start?
We went to breakfast at Heart and Soul, but to be honest with you, I wasn't paying any attention to what was going on there.
How'd you get to Heart and Soul?
I had some chick driving me nuts. I don't even know her name.
Okay.
She drove my truck.
She drove your truck. Did she pick you up in your truck or come to your house first?
Look at that kid. She picked my truck up and then she drove me there.
All right.
We came from. I'm sorry, I don't even know where the hell I was.
Weird something. Peoria or some shit.
Yeah, yes. We came from there.
Yeah.
We went to my truck and then we took my truck to Heart and Soul.
Got it.
She drove back.
And you don't know her name?
I don't.
She just was acting as your DD?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know her name at all? Any nickname, first name, internet? Is she a friend of yours online?
I don't even think I met her before last night, but she was.
But she's got the keys to your car.
But she was sober, so it's all.
A very trusting man, because.
By Kyle's account, neither of the intoxicated boys drove their trucks, instead relying on two girls, Jenica and another female, who will soon be located and questioned. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Moore hands over his home camera system, hoping it may show evidence that Jenica was the one who dropped Jacob off at home this morning.
I just feel bad for this lady. Oh my goodness.
That's right.
I've done so many of those notifications.
Were you vehicle friends as well?
I ran our vehicular crimes for almost 4 years, 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, social media's blowing up with it. Right?
A situation where you have a true victim that
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
didn't do anything wrong. And,
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible. Everything on social media is saying a girl's driving because they were looking for the car. I didn't see that until the people start sending me stuff. So honestly, beyond that, I don't know.
That's interesting. So social media is saying that a girl was driving.
Yeah, they said they're looking for a girl in this truck.
That is interesting because that was not publicly released.
Investigators later locate Mike.
That was not publicly released. I wonder who released that to the point where it was going viral locally on social media. Who do you think released that?
Micah, the girl who acted as Kyle's designated driver from Heart and Soul Cafe. She explains that Jenica is her roommate and confirms the two were at the cafe with the boys that morning.
Who is driving?
Jen was driving and I was also driving. And then
So you're driving whose vehicle?
I was driving Kyle's.
All right.
And Jenica was driving Jacob's.
By her account, Jenica didn't drive Jacob home, but rather to Kyle's house.
Let me backtrack a little bit. You guys get to Kyle's. What happens after that?
We get to Kyle's, we parked the pickups, and we said goodbye to both of them, and we got in my car, and I drove back to campus with Jen.
So Jen was in your vehicle.
Yes.
Jacob and Kyle stayed at Kyle's house. Is that correct?
I believe so, unless they left after that, I'm not sure.
Micah explains she and Jenica have been with the boys since the night prior, but struggles to recall specific times and locations. Her lack of certainty prompts the detective to interrupt the interview with a pointed question.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you flat out. Are you covering for anyone?
No, I have no idea what's happening.
Notice the cop didn't ask the lieutenant, are you covering for anyone? Jacob, are you covering for, is anybody here in this family, the family of the guilty party, are you guys covering for anybody? Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Appreciate you being here.
Okay. So do you understand the severity of this?
I do, yes.
Someone lost their life.
Yes, I know.
All right.
If I knew about it, I would say something. Like, I want to be in law enforcement after I get out of college. Like, I'm a justice studies major. Like, I would not do that at all.
I want to be a part of the Thin Blue Line criminal organization. That's what I aspire to do in my life.
Together exactly what happened after leaving the cafe, investigators will need to speak with Jenica. They prepare to follow Micah to her college dorms, where she believes Jenica will be.
Honestly, I know exactly how that family is feeling right now. Because I lost my dad a few years ago. So it just breaks my heart.
At the dorms, Jenica admits to being at the cafe with the group and shares that Jacob and Kyle were intoxicated. Once they left, she confirms that Micah drove Kyle's truck and she drove Jacob's, with plans to meet at a friend's house. But what she says happened next changes everything.
We were driving on like a freeway. He was like, "You missed a turn, like you didn't tell me. You missed a turn, let me drive." And he started like yelling. And he was like, "It's my pickup, like let me drive." I was like, "You know what? I don't want to be in this vehicle. Like I don't want to be driving with you yelling at me." He was like all over me. And so I pulled over. So
I don't want to be driving with you yelling at me. It sounds like Jacob probably aspired to be a cop. He would have been a great cop, right? He's already on his way to be a domestic abuser, it sounds like.
he drove there.
After switching seats with Jacob and arriving at the friend's house, Jenica claims that Jacob didn't want to stay, as he was tired and just wanted to go home. According to her account, he drove away alone, leaving her in the driveway.
So, about 10 o'clock this morning, a woman was jogging on Cloud Road, was run down by a gray Ford F-250.
Somebody asked the question, was she jogging with or against traffic? In my opinion, from the pictures that I've seen and going through this video before, it looks like she was jogging with traffic, with the flow of traffic. And she was jogging, according to the police, according to eyewitness reports, she was jogging way off the road. So when Jacob swerved to hit her, he had to go out of his way off the road to strike her.
And killed. Truck's registered owner happens to be gray Ford F-250, and killed. Truck's registered owner happens to be a police officer.
Who's that's about?
He doesn't remember how he got there, but he claims that you were driving during the night, and that you were driving that truck, and he wasn't.
During the hit?
It's looking like they're trying to place you behind the wheel when that woman was struck and killed.
What?
Thankfully, investigators wouldn't need to rely on hazy accounts, as video evidence would clearly show who was driving the truck just before Lisa Mancuso was struck and killed. Just after 8 a.m. on February 24th, surveillance videos captured Jacob and Kyle arriving at Heart and Soul Cafe.
First of all, hats off to Explore With Us, the Explore With Us channel, for putting all this stuff together. Because again, if it wasn't for the video cameras and basically the timeline, this Jacob kid, the Phoenix Lieutenant Police Officer's kid, would have literally gotten away not only with murder, but also pinning the murder on an innocent girl. And not only would Jacob is willing to ruin the life of the people whose mother and wife he killed, but he was also willing to ruin the life of this innocent girlfriend. That's how crappy of a person this Jacob kid is.
Jacob can be seen dragging his feet, swaying off balance, and showing signs of impairment. Minutes later, Jenica and Micah join the boys and sit at their table, and they're served alcoholic drinks. One friend, who wasn't with the group but seated in the bar area with Jackson, answers a serious question.
Who purchased the liquor? Because you guys are underage.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they asking for ID, or you just go in there and...
No, never asked.
As their waitress explains, Kyle and Jacob were both increasingly showing signs of intoxication.
You know there's something wrong with you if you're getting drunk. You're a young kid. You're getting drunk early in the morning. Oh, hi, Jenica. I'm about to pin you for a murder I'm about to commit.
They were just being obnoxious. They were sitting there dropping the N-word, calling each other and just using all kinds of profanity. So my concern was just to get them out.
At one point, after purchasing another round of alcoholic drinks, the waitress gave them only orange juice, telling investigators it's what they do if they believe someone has had enough alcohol. Around 8:30 a.m., Jacob can be seen with his arms around Jenica, with his head laying in her lap.
He was passed out. He was probably going to sleep. And they're like, yeah, he can't sleep up there. And I was like, yeah, it's probably best he leaves. So that's why the girl was, yeah, he's tired. So I'm going to drive. He was drinking. So
Which girl said that?
Jen. She goes, I'm going to drive his truck. And I go, perfect. And I walked to the door, and then I went back to the bar.
Jackson stays behind at the cafe while the rest of the friend group prepares to leave.
Yeah, that's a good point, Claudette. He basically did get away with it because, 4 years in jail. He's probably going to get out on good behavior, 3 years probation. It's pathetic. Now, did you notice that Jacob has changed his clothes? When the cops arrive on the scene, he's wearing like gray or white shorts, and I think he even changed his shirt.
A short time later, the truck can be seen pulling into the driveway of their friend's house. As the doors open, Jacob exits the driver's seat, confirming Jenica's claim that the two swapped seats along the way. The two talk for a while and briefly hug before Jacob enters the driver's seat once more. Jenica walks to Micah's car to wait for her friend, while Jacob leaves alone. Lisa Mancuso would be violently struck and killed less than 10 minutes later. Still, according to a family friend...
Wow. Man, just let that sink in. Let it sink in how evil these people actually are. Not just Jacob, who did the killing and pinned the murder on this girl, but also the Phoenix lieutenant who was willing to cover up for this killing. The whole thing is truly alarming and disgusting.
And Jacob has no memory of being behind the wheel.
I said, nothing? You can't remember anything? He goes, I remember being at breakfast. He goes, and then the next thing he remembered was his dad waking him up.
As more video footage is uncovered and additional friends are interviewed, investigators learn that Jacob began drinking as early as 11 p.m. the night before. After visiting multiple bars throughout the night, he enjoyed additional drinks with his friends at an abandoned racetrack.
When you guys are at the abandoned racetrack, and you guys are drinking, about how much did you guys drink between everybody?
I think there was like a 12-pack that we had in the truck. So that split between everyone, which is just, 2.5 beers, probably 3 beers each.
When you guys were drinking at the racetrack, what'd you guys do with all the beer cans?
In the back of each truck.
You threw it in the back of the truck?
Yeah.
According to police records, 8 crushed beer cans were found in a dumpster, removed from Jacob's truck prior to the deputy's arrival. They'd been thrown away by Jacob's father, Lieutenant Moore, who openly admitted he did so before knowing the truck was involved in the accident.
So, could be protein, the Coors Light, and the Monster.
Did you see that? No, not at all. Just before I knew what had happened, like I go around this property, got a big property, and I pick up crap. Okay, so he's about to say that, but listen to what EWU says.
Moore, who openly admitted he did so before knowing away by moved from Jacob's truck prior to the deputy's arrival. They'd been thrown away by Jacob's father, Lieutenant Moore, who openly admitted he did so before knowing the truck was involved in the accident.
I don't believe that for 1 second. I think he threw him away because he knew that truck had been involved in an accident.
So,
what do you guys think? I mean, does anybody believe what this Phoenix lieutenant's saying?
could be protein, the Coors Light, and the Monster. I picked up a whole handful of crap out of the back of his truck and threw it in here.
And while Jacob's father was seemingly conflicted over whether Jacob parked the truck in its usual spot,
Where he normally parks it, on the side of my house.
Well, why is his truck over here? It's never parked over here. It's weird.
the camera system his father gave police ultimately showed Jacob arriving at home and exiting the driver's seat himself. In an interview recorded on the day of Lisa's death, a deputy acknowledged Lieutenant Moore's concern that the investigation might appear to show him preferential treatment.
In 26 years, there are untold sacrifices you've made. There are things that you gave up, things that you did for the better of, whether it be a citizen or an agency or another officer. Things that
God.
You'll never get recognized for, things that you'll never get back, things that you've had to deal with that are untold and never will be told, the things that you saw and dealt with. I know.
It's the nature of police work.
Yeah. And for that to be called into, when something like this happens, because there's automatically that, well, he's protecting his kid, he's doing this, he's doing that, and I want to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Sevenfold, thank you. He says in other news, cops continue to investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing. Always happens. And I want to do everything the deputy says to circumvent that. In other words, I'm going to give you as much protection as I can possibly give you. Now, I wouldn't do that for anybody else, but I'm definitely going to do that to you. Here, let's do our secret Freemasonry handshake.
Everything to circumvent that.
Yeah,
Okay. Listen again to this. You made such a sacrifice. You've spent years of your life being a public servant, and that's about to all go out the window because of this unfortunate event. But if I can do anything about it to circumvent this, I definitely will, brother.
Might appear to show him preferential
Listen
treatment.
to this. God, this is so disgusting. Not only do you have a kid who just killed an innocent woman and then lie about it and pin the murder on his girlfriend, and now the dad cop is lying about it, but now you have a deputy who's getting involved in, hey, whatever I can do to help in the cover up. I mean, I can only go so far because I don't want to get myself into trouble, but my God, you've had years of public service. You deserve some kind of benefit from that. And if I can do it, I will. What the frick? What the hell?
6 years. There are untold sacrifices you've made. There are things that you gave up, things that you did for the better of, whether it be a citizen or an agency or another officer, things that you'll never get recognized for, things that you'll never get back, things that you've had to deal with that are untold and never will be told, the things that you saw and dealt with. I know.
It's the nature of police work.
Yeah. And for that to be called into, when something like this happens, because there's automatically that, well, he's protecting his kid, he's doing this, he's doing that, and I want to do everything to circumvent that.
Yeah, I'm not protecting anybody.
I know. That's why we're having this conversation, because I had a feeling.
Not protecting anybody.
Though Jacob claimed to have no memory of the incident, he Googled DUI manslaughter on his phone at 2:37 p.m.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I can't remember anything. Oh my gosh, I wonder what you get for DUI manslaughter. What? The plot just keeps thickening.
Less than 10 minutes before his father reached out to deputies. He sent a text message to a close friend an hour later, one that seemed to suggest he knew what was coming next.
Like, he said, "Hey, I love you, just so you know that." And I said, "What makes you say that?" He said, "I might be going away."
At the time the Ford F-250 was seized by police, detectives were...
All right, so did you notice his clothing here? In the video from the bar or the restaurant where they were eating and drinking, he had jeans on. Now he's got like sweat shorts on. So he's changed his clothes.
Might be going away.
At the time the Ford F-250 was seized by police, detectives were unable to prove that Jacob was behind the wheel at the time of the crash.
Wow.
And couldn't get a warrant for a sample of Jacob's blood.
Couldn't get a warrant for a sample of Jacob's blood. They'd get a warrant easily for you. Matter of fact, in certain cases, they wouldn't even wait for a warrant. They would just start drawing your blood without your permission. But for Jacob, who's the son of the Phoenix lieutenant, we just can't get a warrant for his blood. And if they couldn't, and they didn't have the video camera evidence that's forthcoming, that woman, Jenica, would have gone up the stream for a long, long time. And I bet you anything she would have gotten more than 4 years.
DNA taken
And Jacob would have let her go to jail. That's the thing.
from the broken headlight of the truck would later come back as a match to 43-year-old Lisa Mancuso. After a warrant for his arrest was issued,
Hey, living women, thank you so much for reposting this stream. If you guys can do that, it really helps out. Don't forget to hit the like button.
20-year-old Jacob Moore, in the company of his lawyer, surrendered voluntarily at the police station. His bond was set at $200,000. In April of 2025, as part of a plea deal, Jacob pleaded guilty to manslaughter and leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. He was later sentenced in 2025 to serve 4 years in the Arizona Department of Corrections. He was also ordered to pay restitution to Lisa Mancuso's family and will be placed on 3 years of supervised probation following his release. For the 1-year anniversary of her death, Lisa Mancuso's friends and family gathered to honor her memory with a 5K, with runners wearing purple, Lisa's favorite color. If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us...
So let's just recap. It's not about blue. I hope you don't think it's about throwing your son under the bus. That's not what this is about. This is about doing what is right. A woman died. And if you knew your son killed somebody, would you cover for him? Number one, would you cover for him and hide the fact that he actually killed somebody and ruined a family's life? And number two, would you concoct a scheme with your son that a girl who didn't commit the crime committed the crime and then let her go to jail for your son? Would you do that? I don't think you would. Why? Because it's not right. It's not right. You make your bed, you got to sleep in it. I don't care who you're talking about. If it was my son or daughter, it's not about throwing them under the bus. It's about doing what is right. It's about living right and doing what is right by people. So the reason I wanted to cover this right here is because this exemplifies again that there aren't just a few bad apples. This goes all the way to the top of the Phoenix Police Department. Matter of fact, you know what? I got the Phoenix Police Department Facebook page. I wonder if anybody's, let's see. I wonder if anybody's said anything. This is the Phoenix Police Department Facebook page. 366,000 followers. Let's see here. Here's their last post from yesterday at 11:38. When did the EWU come out? 18 hours ago. Let's see. Well, they haven't disabled comments. Let's see if anybody's engaging with a Phoenix police officer entails a degree of risk to one's health. Just ask, I don't know, these people right here. Let's see if anybody's commenting on the EWU. In this video, Lieutenant Lewis refers to his father being a Phoenix Police officer. Let's see. That's not. The name of the lieutenant is Moore, Moore. Most relevant. Let's see. This has 121, and this was posted November 2nd at 8 a.m. Let's see if anybody attached this. Most relevant, all comments. I am actually surprised. That's for a fallen police officer. Let's just look at one more. All comments. Nope. I don't see any mention of Lieutenant Moore from the Phoenix Police Department covering for his son. Here, let me give you guys the Phoenix Police Department Facebook page in the live chat. There it is right there. Okay, well, this just exemplifies once again that there are no good cops, and it's this few bad apples fiction is just that. It's a storybook fictionary tale because there's no such thing as just a few bad apples. If a lieutenant is willing to do this, I imagine the people under him would do this. A stream can rise no higher than its source, and if the source is bad, the stream where all the deputies and the regular police officers lie, they're going to be bad too. Corrupt the source and you corrupt the entire stream. Don't forget to, speaking of stream, don't forget to like this stream and share it with everybody you know. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. There was a super chat. Let me just give a quick shout out. And that was from Sevenfold 777. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Take care.